HarperCollins and Harper Audio present An Ordinary Man, The Surprising Life and Historic Presidency of Gerald R. Ford, by Richard Norton Smith, read by Fred Sanders. For Oliver Sipple. Nothing astonishes men so much as common sense and plain dealing. Ralph Waldo Emerson. A note to the reader. The circumstances surrounding Gerald Ford's formative years, and the several boyhood names by which he was identified, could hardly be more muddled. Born Leslie King, Jr. in July 1913, he was 2 weeks old when his mother, fearing for both their lives, abandoned her brutish husband. Eventually, she and her infant son settled in Grand Rapids, Michigan. There she met and in time married a local businessman named Gerald Ford, Sr. Throughout his childhood, the future president was variously known as Junior King, Junior Ford, plain Junior, or its diminutive, Junie. I have employed these names as appropriate, while making every effort to avoid confusion with either his blood father or the stepfather he considered his true parent. The reader is both forewarned and reassured that the problem solves itself by the time Junie Ford reaches his 15th birthday and is rebranded Gerald R. Ford, Jr., the name by which he was known until the 1962 death of his stepfather. Introduction. A Capacity for Surprise. Bob Woodward, to Ford speechwriter Robert Hartman, 17 years after publication of Hartman's tell-all White House memoir, "Is there anything that stayed hidden that I should know about?" Hartman: Ford was hidden. No one was more surprised to find himself invited to a White House stag dinner in the spring of 1975 than Senator George McGovern, the prairie populist crushed by Richard Nixon in the 1972 presidential election. McGovern's fierce opposition to the Vietnam War had made him persona non grata to presidents of both parties. "Lyndon Johnson never invited me to dinner," the South Dakota Democrat told Nixon's successor, "and you can be sure that Richard Nixon didn't." "I know, George," replied Gerald Ford. "That's why I asked you." Policy disagreements notwithstanding, the House belongs to everyone, now more than ever. Ford's penchant for the unexpected was not always so gracefully executed. On a Sunday morning in September 1974, a disbelieving nation woke to the news that he was pardoning Nixon for any and all offenses relating to the June 1972 Watergate break-in and subsequent cover-up that led to the president's resignation. Carl Bernstein of The Washington Post spoke for millions when he told his journalistic partner Bob Woodward, "The son of a bitch pardoned the son of a bitch." Ford used even harsher language in explaining his action. "Nixon really fucked up the pea patch," he told a White House visitor. "It will cost me the '76 election, but I had to do it." The friend was shocked, less by Ford's justification of the pardon than by his use of the F-word, something he had never heard him employ before. Ford's use of profanity was sparing and picturesque. The harshest insult in his lexicon, "He doesn't know his ass from page 8, was an expression of mysterious origin, apparently unique to the 38th president. Overnight, Ford's approval rating dropped 22 points, a descent unmatched in the history of public opinion polling, and a fair measure of how profoundly he had misread the popular mood. Privately, Ford countered that he wasn't forgiving Nixon so much as he was trying to forget him. More precisely, to redirect his energies and the country's attention toward a rapidly deteriorating economy, as well as escalating tensions in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. Whatever his motives, Ford's methods of deciding the fate of his disgraced predecessor shredded any stitches of trust woven during his first month in office. With the stroke of a pen.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?